All right, I think we're live.
Yeah.
What's up, everybody? What
Hello.
is up, fans of the heel marks and also fans of Ring of Honor? Hopefully, those two fan bases mold together and join us here for Mark of Honor, our Ring of Honor post show. And we're going to be getting started in just a few. And by few, I mean two. So, really more of a couple.
We're a couple. Well, a couple of friends.
Couple of knuckleheads. All right, shall we get this guy started? Shall we get into it?
Let's do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the best wrestling podcast around. Hosted by Brady and Danielle, the Heel
From
Mob.
Brooklyn to your living room, it's the best podcast to listen to. Morning, even afternoon, hear clever blind girl and a Jew talk about wrestling. They do it 24/7, cause they love to speak on it every week. That's why they are best friends. And they're back once again for some wrestling talk. So sit back, relax, it's time for Heel Mob. They're not just smart, they're Heel Mob. They're not just smart, they're Heel Mob.
That is right. Welcome back, fans and friends. We are back once again, or I guess we're back for the very first time. I am the custodian of charisma. I am the ophthalmologist of optimism. With me, as always, she is the sultan of sarcasm, the sorceress of sass. I am the ghost, the greatest host of sometimes. She is the coat, the cutest of all time. We are the best friends in all the land. We are the Heel Marks, and welcome to the first ever episode of Mark of Honor, our very own Ring of Honor post show, brought to you by BodySlam.net. Ladies and gentlemen, get comfortable, get your popcorn ready. We about to get into this show, right, Danielle?
That we are. I'm excited.
Me too. I know one reason you're excited. You got to see, I believe, your favorite wrestler on the Ring of Honor roster. I could be mistaken, but I believe that is correct.
100%. 100%. I get to see Ethan Page. And you know how much I love
All ego, Ethan.
All
Page.
ego, Ethan Page, one of my all-time favorite wrestlers. So I get to see him every week, and now I get to talk about him every week.
That's right.
So excited.
That's right. And guys, we want to hear from you as well. So people in the live chat, whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on Twitch, comment. We can see those comments. We like to see those comments. We want to interact with you just as much as we're interacting with each other. And let's see how this works. We got Kyle Sparks in the live chat welcoming us to the Body Slam team because he's glad to have some ROH talk on the channel. Thank you very much, Kyle. We are happy to be on board.
Happy to be
Danielle,
here.
what do you say we get into this show? We had a fun time watching it. I think we're going to have just as much fun talking about it. What do you say?
I really do think we're going to have fun. I think this is going to be really fun to talk about and just concentrate on ROH and all the great wrestlers that we've been watching forever and are on ROH, and we get to talk about them and spread love and sometimes hate to the people of the wrestling world.
Right. I mean, one thing you can't say about Ring of Honor is that it doesn't, and this is constant from like the beginning of ROH to now with the revival. They are always going to have a stacked roster of wrestlers from T to B.
Oh yeah.
Top to bottom, and because of the fact that we do see AEW guys, a Bryan Danielson, for instance, who I do believe is still currently the best wrestler in the game, we get to see him pop in Ring of Honor. We'll get to see him wrestle at Final Battle. So yeah, Ring of Honor is just killing it right now. It's a fun source of entertainment, fun 2 hours of wrestling. Let's get into it. First match of the night, we saw Billie Starkz defeating Danny Moe on her way to facing Athena at ROH Final Battle, which you brought to my attention before we came live on air. That's going to main event. That's the main event for Final Battle. And as it should, it's interesting that this opened the show, but it will main event. But you know what? It opened it with a bang, because then after Billie Starkz getting her win, Athena shows up and leaves her number one contender laying, reminding everyone she holds the title above her head, tells everyone, this is my show. And the commentary team reminded us that she has the chance to go from final battle to final battle. Danielle, what do you think about this? What do you think about this new side, this fiery side, this 1 year as champ side of Athena?
I love this side of her. I loved her since NXT. NXT. I've loved her. I've loved watching her, and I love what she's doing with ROH Championship. I'm really loving this. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how I feel about Billie Starkz being her opponent. I don't know how I feel about it.
Okay. I mean, I don't mind it as much. The many aspects of Ring of Honor, the women's division in particular, does feel similar to NXT, in which it does kind of feel like a lot of women are there that haven't, quote unquote, graduated to AEW Dynamite or Rampage or Collision, so I think that's kind of, it's fitting for Athena because she's one who can help these up and coming stars, even as they are putting her over. Like, they're going to learn so much. They're going to grow. They're going to look like Billie Starkz has a competitive match against Athena and her stock rises. Her stock goes up because she's hanging with Athena, and Athena is fairly established.
This isn't going to hurt Billie Starkz in any way or make her look bad, and it's not going to hurt.
You just think that for Final Battle, it should be a more established contender who could come across more threatening to the title reign.
Maybe more believable.
Okay.
If Billie Starkz does win, it will be very weird to me, but at the same time, it's very Tony Khan, if that makes sense. So
no, makes complete sense.
I wouldn't be surprised if Billie Starkz wins. I just don't know how I feel about her. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this of them. I'm happy they're main eventing Final Battle. I love that. I just don't know how I feel about having Billie Starkz as the contender for Athena.
Interesting. All right, fair enough. I completely get it. I do want to move on to the next match that we had on the show. Actually, not the next match. The next segment we saw was Bryan Danielson and Wheeler Yuta challenging. We kind of assume they're going to have a third member. We assume it's Claudio, just because Claudio's more affiliated with Ring of Honor than Jon Moxley is. But it's going to be Bryan Danielson, Wheeler Yuta. They challenge the 3-person team of FTR and Mark Briscoe at ROH Final Battle. I marked out when I saw this happening. As I mentioned earlier, I do think Bryan Danielson's the best wrestler on the planet. I kind of consider him more of an AEW roster because we see him all the time. He's a headliner. He's a top name. So the fact that when we tune into ROH Final Battle, we're going to see him, that's exciting to me. That's a draw. And FTR and Mark Briscoe, Wheeler Yuta, possibly Claudio, like, come on. This is a money match. This is a main event match. This is a take my money match.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And with Bryan Danielson, I really feel like this is his home turf, Like, this is where we all started watching him, and this is where, we all grew to love him and couldn't wait for him to go other places. And I like that he's back here and he's like helping these other wrestlers, and we, it's something to definitely tune into because you want to see him.
Yeah, I 100% agree. When you think of Ring of Honor and Bryan Danielson, there's many different moments to choose from. It's just fun to have him back, and this match is gonna kick ass. These guys are gonna hurt each other. Somebody's chest is gonna be as red as the top of our pages right now. The top of that logo, 100%.
It's gonna be a hard-hitting, fun match. It's gonna be such a fun match to watch. I'm really looking forward to this match.
Speaking of fun, can't think of Dalton Castle without thinking of how much fun he brings to the screen. And he looked like he was having fun when he beat Johnny TV in Johnny's first ever singles match on Ring of Honor.
Dalton Castle is so silly. I know I love him, but he's so silly, and it just makes me laugh all the time. I was more excited watching them name different TV shows, saying that they were TV champs and just going back and forth, yelling like Three's Company, Cheers, Hey Dude. Like
I popped so hard for
I
Hey Dude.
know you did. As soon as they said it, I was like, Brady definitely just popped right now.
Big pop. And you know what? Ring of Honor pop because they tweeted like a Hey Dude meme or something like after he cut that promo. So
It was
I'm
fantastic.
there's a following out there for nearly everything, but Hey Dude's following has to be bigger than most. That's a guarantee.
I'm not a Hey Dude person. I liked it,
I
but
know
I
you're
wasn't
not.
as big as you guys. Like, you and a few of my friends are all about Hey Dude. And I'm like, yeah, I liked it. And I can semi-sing some of the theme song, but yeah.
It was such a good show. That theme song is awesome. Clearly, that's how Ben Stiller met his wife. Like he was watching Hey Dude just like the rest of us. And he
Right.
saw good old Melody and was like, I am in love. I'm going to make heavyweights and then I'm going to ask that woman to marry me. That's exactly how that happened.
But she was in Dodgeball.
Yeah. Years after
heavyweights
they got
too.
married.
Oh, yeah. Good point.
Real quick, throw
Yeah.
it to the comment section. Kyle Sparks throws out to us that Danielson, this is going to be his first final battle since 2008. 2008.
That's
Yeah.
insane.
His last match was a fight without honor against Takeshi Morishima. So thank you, Kyle
Wow.
Sparks.
Yeah,
that
that's
fun
pretty
fact. This is
insane.
gonna- Yeah, and see, like that's another another reason to mark out for the fact that this happening. It's a big deal. Final Battle's a
Oh,
big
yeah.
show. Ring of Honor's a big name. Final Battle's a big name, and Tony Khan's taking it serious, and he's pulling out stops, and he's making sure the show lives up to its hype. So I love that. I love Dalton Castle getting a surprising victory here against Johnny TV, especially because it then like I'm a fan of storyline progression. Character progression. What do we get? We get what we wanted. We want to see Johnny and his wife, Taya, on screen. We want to be able to see them vibe and bring that chemistry to a wrestling act. And we get to see it right here. Danielle, what are your thoughts? What are you thinking?
I completely disagree.
Okay, wait. So before you disagree, let me put it as we put it on our show, the heel marks. Let's the fans know. Danielle, for this segment, heel or mark?
I'm heel. All heel. I don't want to see them together. I think Taya is a force to be reckoned with on her own, and I don't think she needs to be with Johnny to show that she's a powerhouse. I understand you're just putting them because they're married, but I don't think they need to be near each other. I don't need this. I'm okay with it, but I don't need it.
Okay. Interesting. See, I don't mind them together because I'm just a fan of pairings in general. Like when I watched the Attitude Era, they were able to pack so many different acts, different talents on TV simply by putting a pair together. So now Stevie Richards isn't on TV, but Victoria's getting a push. Let's put Stevie Richards with Victoria. And now we can put either of these guys in a match, whether it's Victoria, whether it's Stevie, and the other person now has a reason to be ringside. The other person has a reason to be backstage during a promo. So it's just, I love giving people more than one opportunity to be on TV. So I like that this gives Taya more chance. For example, Taya didn't have a match tonight, but we saw her. And for me, especially when we're talking about AEW or Ring of Honor and getting women on the screen, like that's a plus. I'll take it where I can get it at this point.
I'm totally on board with that. I can see that if there's not enough room or not enough time, like to have them go in pairing to be able to see her on TV. So I'm okay with that.
Right. And speaking of getting women on TV, we did get Rachel Ellerling, and she defeated Nikki Victory. I was hoping to be able to say Nikki celebrated her victory. And one day, Danielle, we're going to say that. One day, the headline will read it. But it wasn't today, though it did seem like that's what Maria wanted. Maria, it seemed like she accidentally, quote, 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 almost cost Rachel this match. So once again, storyline progression, and this might take us to Ellerling versus Layla Hirsch. What do we think of this?
Maybe. I really like Rachel. I always have. I felt like she was very underutilized for a while, and I'm very thankful that she's on ROH and I get to see her. And yeah, I think this is gonna slowly lead to them having a feud and having a match, and I'm totally looking forward to it.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I'm a big Rachel Erling fan. I
Me
love to
too.
see her grow her progression, and I can't wait to see that star shine. Can't wait to see that star shine more. I also love that Maria is kind of giving her that foil where now the fans are gonna have a reason to really pop when she does turn on this duo, when she does stick the boots to her. Maria's got a great knack of making people like hate her, and she doesn't have to do too much to do it. Like she comes off oblivious and delusional in all the best ways. So I really do think this is going to do wonders for Rachel, and I hope she comes out the other end of this shining like a
Yeah.
diamond.
Maria just needed to sing today to already annoy me.
That was amazing.
I was like,
That
what
was
is happening?
amazing.
Why is this happening? What is going on?
Griff's reaction to that was my favorite thing because it kind of looks like he's reacting the same way we are, right? Which is
Mhm.
kind of like saying what the fuck's going on. But then when they leave and he's kind of still frozen, he says, "She's a songbird." And I was it's like, all right, Griff, I'm with you now. Listen, his tag team partner leaves him for NXT. He's kind of left here in AEW ROH Purgatory. They had to give him a restart. I'm excited about his new tag team. I'm excited to see what Maria does with them. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I think, like I said, if this is any indication, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be funny. They're gonna keep it light. And like I said, I'm think this is gonna do wonders. Griff Garrison, I'm big on. And so I'd
Oh,
like to
yeah?
see more from him. I am. I think he's got more to show, and I think even this right here, this glimmer of personality we got to see from him, it excites me. I'm looking forward to the future for him.
Nice. I didn't realize you were into him. I like it.
I do like it. I do like him. Not as much, of course.
The best. I know
Yeah,
where you're going.
of course. Former Heel Marks guest JD Drake with his tag team partner Anthony Henry, the Workhorseman, defeating the infantry, Carly Bravo and
Infantry. We
Sean
can
James.
say it.
Love the new team of the infantry. These four men showed up and showed out. The Chop Father, no doubt, though, taking home a victory for the squad.
I love JD Drake so much. Like I mean, we first saw him in Evolve, and that was it for me. Like this man, I was like, I love this man. I'm pretty sure he fought Matt Riddle. That was his first match, and he gave Matt Riddle the finger, and I was like, yep, this man has won me over. I will watch anything with him, anytime, anywhere. And I love that he's teamed up with his friend Anthony Henry, and I love watching the two of them work together. They just work so flawlessly together. It's like watching a dance, and I absolutely love it.
The funniest thing about that is that when he was on our show, when we got to talk to him, he told us that, and he said it numerous times since then. I've heard it like a bunch in almost every interview he's done since then. But him and Anthony Henry didn't even like each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like they met, didn't like each other, and now not only are they like seemingly best friends, but they are just a team made in heaven. I love watching them work together. I love that they're on Ring of Honor. I think it's a great fit for them, a great way for them to work their way up. I'd love to see them get matches with big name tag teams that do appear on Ring of Honor, like FTR, like any
completely
combination
agree.
of the Blackpool Combat Club. I even said when I was on True Heel Heat and they asked me about dream matches I'd like to see for Edge in the future. And obviously it's not necessarily Ring of Honor related unless Edge shows up, which would be awesome. But I did say, and for Adam Copeland, I apologize, JD Drake is like, I'm like, let's make that dream match happen. Fact is, Adam Copeland does need to knock down a few people. We need to give him some W's. JD Drake and Adam Copeland, yes, please take my money, take it all.
Oh yes, please take my money.
And once again, I love tag team wrestling in general, but I love tag team matches where everyone benefits, where there are no losers. Yeah, like nobody came out of this looking bad. This was a banger of a tag team match. If somebody were to ask me about matches they need to go back and watch from this episode, this match is coming out of my mouth real quick.
I wish this match was for the ROH titles. I felt like it was while we were watching it. I was like, wow, this is a really intense match, and I'm loving every minute of this. Like, I wish there was something on the line for it.
I mean, and that's the beauty about this stuff, though, because those matches that make you feel that way, those are where you're watching these guys to see when it happens. Like
Oh
that's what
yeah,
it felt like, because that's what it is. We're watching two future number one contender teams for sure.
absolutely, absolutely.
The tag team wrestling keeps coming. We saw Trish Adora and Lady Frost defeating the Renegade Twins. Danielle, you look stumped. What's up? I know you love Trish Adora. What's going on?
I know. I must have went down to get a drink at this point because I thought the Renegade Twins won. My bad. I was like, I thought the Renegade Twins won. Yeah, I love her, but I think I ran down to get a drink at this time. Yeah. I didn't know you knew I love Trisha Dora. Yeah, I really like her.
Well,
A lot.
I remember, I think we were at, I want to say one of the Jobber Slams, like, and Trisha Adora was wrestling, and like you freaked out for her entrance. I could be wrong about what show we were at, but we were at a show.
In my maybe it was women. No, it wasn't women of wrestling. We go to so many shows, I forget.
I feel like it was that show in Brooklyn that was on 420. Wasn't that like a Jobber Slam?
Oh, that was Battle Club, no? That wasn't a Battle Club show?
I'm almost positive, because remember,
I don't remember, but I like her.
Remember, Sir Wilkins' brother was the ref, and he was like screaming for him.
Yeah, I know which
one
you're talking about.
Sexy. That ref is sexy.
Yeah, but I thought, but I could have swore that was a
Oh, you know what? You might be right. I might have been confusing it only because, because she owns and she's with Jobber Slam, so that's why I was confused.
We also go to every show. Like I feel like we're at every single show.
They
so
all blend together.
They all
I can't right. But you are right.
Yeah.
That was Battle Club.
Yeah, she's super fun.
But yeah, I'll never forget your love for Trisha Adora, because I got to witness you mark out for her. And that's always fun. Guys, if you have not seen Danielle mark out for a wrestler at a live show, it is a treat. A treat.
It's such a JD Drake is one that that man I go crazy for. Him and
my favorite. Yeah, I was gonna say Keith Lee. That's my favorite. My favorite is when you mark out for Keith Lee.
I love Keith Lee so much. I love him.
Let's move on to the next match. We had Shotty Lee Johnson getting a big win in the Survival of the Fittest TV title eliminator match against Josh Woods. So Shotty Lee Johnson will move on. I like this match. I like Shotty Lee. I would have lost money if I was betting on it, though. I'm not.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah, I had Josh Woods circled in this one. Not only like just. If you told me Shotty Lee was taking on Josh Woods, I would have probably already picked Josh Woods. But then you add in the qualifier aspect of this. I really had Josh Woods pegged, but I like them giving it to Shotty Lee. I've always thought Shotty Lee is not nearly utilized enough.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. I really thought Josh Woods was taking this, so I was delightfully surprised.
I love it when you're delightfully surprised.
Because I'm always so angrily surprised.
Well, because then you're delightfully sweet. Usually you're just a giant curmudgeon.
Oh my God, my mom called me a curmudgeon the other day. I was like, am I turning into a curmudgeon?
Is curmudgeon Yiddish?
I don't know the answer to that.
I mean, curmudgeon's got to come from somewhere. And I always hear old Jewish ladies say it. So, like, that would make sense. But now I'm just really curious as to the origin of curmudgeon.
I'll look it up while we're discussing more, but I don't
appreciate that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, big win for Shotty Lee. I'm the Survival of the Fittest TV title eliminator tournament is almost making me not bitter about what they did with the TV title in the first place. I still I think just the other day, I don't know if it was our show or if we were just talking about it in our conversation, but it upsets me that they didn't just give Keith Lee the TV title instead of having Samoa Joe beat him for it and then just forfeit it.
Yes.
And move on from ROH, from the title, just to AEW because he wants bigger things. Like, it's so ridiculous. But I do love a good Survival of the Fittest tournament. And
me too.
And we're getting, we're eating off of this right now. So I can't complain. I'm still a little bitter because of my love for Keith Lee and my love for a little thing called logic, but we're gonna keep it pushing like Shotty Lee is doing, moving on. Moving on, indeed, by the way, the Righteous, the tag team of Vincent and Dutch, defeat the Outrunners, Truth Magnum, and Turboy Floyd. Danielle, I love the Outrunners perfectly.
Me
Personally.
too.
Yes.
I really like them. I
Yes.
think they're really fun. I didn't know much about them before I started watching ROH, and I really like them. They're a lot of fun.
Oh, they're so fun. I've been following them for a while on like the indies, YouTube, Twitter, just following anything I can online. So happy to see them on TV. They're just exploding with personality. And this is a tag team where, like, when I watch them lose to the Righteous, you kind of like right now, that's kind of their role they're in. They're going to put over the tag teams that need to get put over. But it kind of reminds me of, I think they were called what, 2.0 in NXT.
Yes. Yeah, I believe so.
And like you watch them and like they weren't getting much in NXT. They got some promo time. They usually lost, but you could see big things in their future. You knew it was going down. And in AEW, we get to see them shine. It is only a matter of time for the Outrunners, 100%.
I like the name too. I'm a fan of it. I
Yeah.
think it's fun.
And here's kind of my point too. Like, don't get me wrong, the Righteous. I love the Righteous. I love the
Me too.
whole
I like
bit.
them too. Yeah.
And this was a great match, but from the gate, as soon as we hit go on this match, me and you can't wait to talk about the Outrunners.
Right. Absolutely.
That's
There's
it.
not many
That
people.
says something.
I have to say, there's not many people on this roster that I have anything bad to say.
Well, once again, I think that comes back to what we first said in the beginning of this show. Like, this roster's stacked T to B. And even if it's somebody you haven't really heard of, you're not too familiar with their work, by the end of the match, there's a good chance they've won you over to the point that you're at least looking forward to their next match.
I think
And-
ROH always had a good way of doing that because when we used to go to ROH at Hammerstein all the time, which I miss dearly, I miss them going to our
Me
ROH
too.
at Hammerstein. I miss it so much. It was always exciting to see wrestlers that I really wasn't familiar with, or I saw them at something really quick, but then I saw them, or maybe they had a spot on WWE or AEW or anything, and then they pop up on ROH, and I would just be really excited to see them. And I learned a lot of wrestlers, and I learned from ROH. I learned what kind of style of wrestling I liked, and that's what I always looked out for in ROH because I think they have a really good style.
And you know what? At ROH, I learned what kind of wrestlers you like and what kind of wrestlers you don't like.
Me?
See where I'm going with this?
I already knew where you were going. I set up because I have the origin of curmudgeon. And then it says it may be barred from Gaelic, meaning disagreeable person, or it's French for, oh no, I just lost it, evil heart.
Wow. I'm gonna have so much fun calling you a curmudgeon now.
Short, yeah.
And I know you're gonna be a curmudgeon. You're gonna have an evil heart about this next match because Lee Moriarty takes on your favorite wrestler, Danielle, Hot Sauce Tracy Williams, in a survival of the fittest TV title eliminator match. He won. Hot Sauce lost. So we're happy about that.
Yay! Hot sauce, more like cold soup. I do love Lee Moriarty.
No, me too. And any time to see him is fun for me. I just remember like you taking me, and I remember telling you how much I hated hot sauce before you told me you hated hot sauce. And then like it was one of those like, did we just become best friends? We were already best friends, but it was like we experienced that moment again because
not a fan. No. He's a very nice person. He's very, very nice. His wrestling does nothing for me. Nothing. I'm not a fan of him. So I was very happy that Lee Moriarty got the win, and I also just like saying Lee Moriarty.
It's a fun name to say.
Yeah, he really dominated this match. This match was good because he was in it. Again, he's a very nice person, but I just can't.
You know what you sound like, right? When like somebody's asking you how you feel about somebody who likes you, and you're not really attracted to them. They're a nice guy. He's a nice guy. I'm just not there. There's nothing else there.
There's nothing. Yeah, I'm friend zoning Tracy.
How do you know
Lipton's
Hot Sauce is
hardcore.
a nice guy, by the way?
Because in 2017 at WrestleMania weekend, I was handing out heel mark stickers because we like just started the podcast. So I was hardcore handing them out, and I was like, hi. And I was just handing them out to anybody walking out the door. And I was like, would you like one? And him and Zack Sabre Jr. were like, I'd absolutely love one. And they were like, thank you so much. Good luck. Have a great day. And I was like, oh, that's so nice.
I can't. Normally, that would win you over. That person would have a fan for life.
That's why I
How do you
always
still hate
state
this
he's
man?
a very nice person. I don't hate him as a person.
6 years later, this man hasn't won you over. This is crazy.
He hasn't won me over at all. Hasn't won me over, but he was very nice. He was like, yeah, I would love one. Him, Zack Sabre Jr. too. I would love one. I was like, oh, of course you would. Thank you.
Aw.
Yeah.
Thank you, Hot Sauce.
Yeah, that
Now
was
I want
very
a
nice.
Hot
Hot
sticker.
sauce. No.
I need a Hot Sauce sticker. Can we get those, please? Somebody.
Yeah,
Who's got the Hot Sauce sticker hookup?
We'll go to what's that? A sriracha place and get you a hot sauce sticker.
The Butcher and the Blade.
Oh,
They gotta win again.
Sorry, I'm so excited. I just love them so much.
No. Which one were you gonna say you liked? You were gonna say you like them both, or were you gonna expand a preference?
I do like them both, but Butcher and Blade, magic. They're so good. I love watching
They're
them wrestle.
so good. They've been very underrated, a very slept on team for the longest. And it was weird. AEW was doing this thing for a while where like they didn't really have direction, but every once in a while, like maybe once, twice a month, they would get put in like either a main event match or just a big time, like a tag team match against big name guys, or they'd even be put in a battle royal where they would like really have great performances that would last until almost the end. And then you're kind of waiting for them to like progress it. It kind of reminded me back when Gallows was still doing Festus on SmackDown, and it was Festus and Jesse. They were still doing that weird gimmick. But out of nowhere, one SmackDown, Festus gets like a 10-minute match against The Undertaker. And you're like scratching your head as a wrestling fan, like, what the hell's going on? But then you're watching, you're like, oh, wow, so Festus can actually go. And that's kind of how I felt with Butcher and the Blade, where every once in a while they'd be reminding you, like, listen, we don't have big things for him just yet, but these guys can go. Watch out. This is the future.
I
And
feel like
never
sometimes
really came to fruition.
Right. I really feel like sometimes they don't have stuff for. This is going to sound so bad, so I'm going to try to word it where it doesn't come off nasty and
Bald people. No, I couldn't agree more.
Curmudgeonly. Sometimes when wrestlers look older, they don't push them as much. No, not bald. Not bald. Because Claudio's bald.
Coincidence that you're talking about two bald men and saying they look older, huh? Coincidence? I think
it is
not.
a coincidence. It's 100% a coincidence. They just look like older men, and I feel like sometimes when wrestlers look a lot older, it's almost like they don't know what to do with them because they feel like people look like they're beating up old people. And I it's just a thing I've noticed because Butcher and Blade look older than what I think they are. Does that make sense? It makes sense in my brain.
I mean, it does, and they definitely are. I mean, the Butcher's like he's been like a professional guitarist, like a big time professional guitarist for like ever. He's been doing that since before most people were even started wrestling. So it's like, yeah, I get it. They're definitely older. I don't know if I would put them in that category where like they're too old that we don't want to see people beat them up. Like I think that's silly.
Maybe it's not beat them up. Maybe I'm wording it wrong, but I feel like sometimes when you look older, they're I don't know. I don't think they're utilized properly.
Okay, it's possible. Listen, I'm always willing to put on my tinfoil hat and listen to a good old Danielle conspiracy theory, especially when it comes to holding down the bald man, which, as we know, happens regularly.
I'm a big fan of
Good to see the Butcher and Blade pick up a good win, and we are fans of the boys. Love the boys. Boys are so fun.
Love them. They're so fun to watch.
It's as you said, there's really no bad tag teams on this show, no bad wrestlers on this show. My favorite part of this next match is me and you both collectively marking out together as we watch this.
Yeah.
Christopher Daniels coming down the ramp. We're like, oh, it's CD, the fallen angel, our old buddy. I was surprised to see him lose tonight to Angelico, another guy I've been a fan of
Yeah, me too.
since Lucha Underground days. So
Yes.
I'm happy to see him get the big win. But I was surprised, was scratching my head. But then I love a good progression. And when Daniels is getting attacked by the tag team of SAP, Danhausen and Orange Cassidy come down for the save. People getting cursed up in here.
How do you feel about Danhausen? I don't know if we've ever talked about this.
I love Danhausen.
Do you? I do too. But I don't think we've ever like really went into it. But I love Danhausen. His gimmick is so fun, and this is what I feel like all these wrestlers have. They just got something that makes them super fun, and it just sets up so much stuff. And yeah, I love a different gimmick where it's not just the same. I'm a big bad wrestler. I'm gonna beat you up. I'm gonna do this. This is fun, and you could tell he's having fun with it.
Yeah, and
Same.
it's also it's him and Orange Cassidy kind of remind me of each other also.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because
100%.
because the truth is they're both very much slept on in the ring. Orange Cassidy a little less now since he's had his title reigns and he's been able to kind of put himself on the map.
Correct.
But a lot of people don't really understand that how good Danhausen is in the ring. But we've seen like Orange Cassidy in past gimmicks show off his in-ring style in different ways that just it didn't catch on because it just you have to stand out, you have to be different. So both of them have found out of the box ways to create characters like unlike anything that you've seen in the past or will see when turning on a wrestling show. And they're able to make their own niche. And Danhausen's character was able to keep him paid throughout like a year of an injury because you don't need to wrestle to be Danhausen. You don't need to wrestle to curse people and to have the whole character going that gets so over. So I'm a fan of most wrestlers that are able to kind of make their own way when the wrestling world doesn't want there to be a way for you.
I think that's what I always really loved about wrestling too, is that when, like you said, he was out, but you don't need to wrestle to be Danhausen. Like, as long as you're good on the mic or have a gimmick that works, you can have this person doing other things to utilize their time and entertain wrestling fans. I think that's what's always drawn me to wrestling. That's why most people are drawn to wrestling. Besides the wrestling matches themselves, it's these gimmicks, these like over the top characters that we fall in love with. And like, even if they are hurt, they can still come out and cut a fun promo or do something silly or do something mean or significant. And it's so fun to watch. And it's theater, and it's such a great thing about wrestling. And I that's one thing I absolutely love about it.
Couldn't agree more. And we've said it multiple times on the show already, but this is just another good get for ROH.
Definitely.
That we're getting Orange Cassidy, who's a champion on AEW, and we're getting Danhausen, who has an opportunity to be one of the most charismatic characters on the Ring of Honor roster. So this is just another good get for the show, another good get for the program. Let's talk about a good get for you, because you got to see all ego Ethan Page in all his glory. Him and Tony Nese had a contract signing for their big ROH Final Battle match, which we found out will be an I Quit match. And Tony Nese made it personal. Danielle, heel or mark?
For the signing, or what am I heel mark? I mean, I'm marking for Ethan Page.
For everything we watched.
It's another thing where we were just talking about, like, Ethan Page, amazing on the mic. Probably a reason why he's one of my favorite wrestlers. He's just got it. Like, absolutely amazing on the mic. Made you feel for him, makes you want him to win. Like, all this is so fantastic. Yeah, I marked for this. I marked for this hard. I'm really looking forward to this match. I really love Tony Nese. And I'm really looking forward to this match.
Yeah, me too. I love what they're doing with both guys, because once again, they're both people who've really been slept on. I don't think any promotion has truly tapped into all ego Ethan Page's potential. I thought that even in Impact, and we're talking about like not for nothing, but we're kind of talking about dad bod Ethan Page. I still thought nobody was scratching the surface with him because from a character standpoint, from a promo standpoint, from storytelling in the ring, nobody was doing it like him. It was on another level. He reminded me of Kevin Owens in every good way
Every
possible.
single way. I remember us going down the list and comparing him to Kevin Owens. I'm like, Canadian Beast has Beast in here. I remember us going through everything. I'm like, this is literally Kevin Owens.
Looks like he will kill you. Like, he checked every box. Yeah. So I always thought that nobody was doing what they should with him. Then he goes ahead and gets himself in picture perfect shape. We're talking thirst trap shape. And
looking like a
his wrestling obviously only gets better. His storytelling only gets better. This guy's only improved somehow, miraculously. He finds a way to get better and better and better, and yet still, it's like we're the only ones that see it. So I've been excited ever since they put him on Ring of Honor because I do see the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Championship in his future. It's gotta be, and I think. I think that's the perfect world championship for him to win. Get him his first world championship, pop that cherry, and then we can move him up that ladder again. And he said it. Yeah. He said it in the past ROH promos we've heard, where eventually, he wants to get to the AEW World Heavyweight Championship, but for now, he's got to start here in Ring of Honor. This is where he's going to fine-tune his set. So I love everything about what we've seen from Ethan Page. And Tony Nese is another one also, where NXT, WWE, Cruiserweight Championship, like they never really wanted to see him be as big or show what he can do. So these two in an I Quit match where Tony Nese has made it personal and has given Ethan Page reason to want to kill him. And Tony Nese has kind of showed he wants to kill him too. They want to make each other say, I quit in this sport. It doesn't get any worse than that.
I can't believe they showed like old dad bod pictures of Ethan Page.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa. Though I will say I have to look into it, but I'm pretty sure one of those pictures are Matt's, our friend Matt, who like photographed M2J's. Yeah. I'm pretty sure. I even messaged him and I'm like, I'm pretty sure one of these pictures are yours. You'll have to double check, but I'm pretty sure one's yours from like Evolve days. But yeah, I can't believe they went low blow with that. I was like, oh man.
One of my favorite moments from being at a live show with you and Matt is when we were at that Impact taping. It was like night one of like a 2-night taping. We were only going to night one. And we were so excited to see Ethan Page wrestle. But then I think we realized halfway through the taping that he wasn't on this night. He was on night 2. And so I, with my effervescent wisdom, suggested to you, my best friend in all the land, that maybe, just maybe, Ethan Page will have a heart, have a soul, and want to give back to his fans. Because at this point, he already knows you. And he knows that you are his ultimate fangirl, his number one fan.
He does.
So you tweet. And I take a beautiful picture of you and Matt looking all so sad.
We were so sad.
You guys tweet to Ethan Page that can't believe you came all this way, couldn't see Ethan Page, oh so sad. And sure as shit, while we're still there. So like he must have tweeted you guys from the balcony.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he tweeted us from the balcony.
He's like, message me your details, and you guys.
Yeah, he literally was like, because he was supposed to wrestle that night, and I think Rich Swann got stuck somewhere, and then they couldn't do it, and he's like, I'm just doing
they had to move pieces. That was why he even said that. He was like, I was supposed to, but something happened beyond my control.
And he was like, if you guys don't have, he was like, if you guys don't have tickets for tomorrow, let me know, message us. And then I remember 3 weeks later or 2 weeks later, I went to Survivor Series in Chicago, and he was wrestling at Freelance against Kylie Ray. And I went up to him and I was like, hey, I just wanted to say, I'm Danielle, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I know who you are. He's like, I remember you coming to all the Evolve shows. And I was like, ooh. I was like, oh, you remember me. Yep. He was like, where's Matt? I was like, oh, Matt's not here.
And I remember like, I wanted to be a part of that so much, but I remember like I couldn't go the next day. Like I was busy. I was doing something. I think I was hosting a party.
Right.
But so that was why I was like, you guys still have to take this shot. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
And that is why all ego Ethan Page is a real one.
Yeah, he's so fantastic. And that he remembered, and like he's a big Disney fan, so we always talk about Disney, and we always talk about
It's so awesome when wrestlers remember you.
Oh my God. He's like, I remember you, of course. He's like, where's Matt? And I like message Matt, and I was like, he said, where's Matt?
I guess it's probably cool if any celebrity any celebrity remembers you from interactions you've had. But I gotta believe with wrestlers, you've got a better chance because we get to interact with them at indie shows. You get to talk to them.
Indie shows is a big thing.
Right. You buy merch with them, they'll spend like 10 minutes talking to you and learn your name and all that kind of stuff.
And also, like, especially Evolve was always at Laboom. It was always the same. Like, we saw the same wrestling fans there every single week. It was always the same thing over and over again. So, like, they know people's faces. Like, and Laboom was a nice small space that they could.
So much.
Oh, me too. Me too. Oh, me too.
Let's move on to the next match, the last match, the main event.
Oh, your boy. Your boy.
My boy. What, Kyle Fletcher? I love Kyle.
Yeah, I didn't realize you were such a Kyle Fletcher mark.
Well, it's Kyle Fletcher's time also. Like, they've been really like, they circled his name. They got him with Don Callis' family now. We've been watching him have singles matches with big names and just heavy hitter after heavy hitter. So seeing him get the main event spot versus Gravity in a Survival of the Fittest TV title eliminator match that he won. I mean, these are just solid spots, and Kyle Fletcher's a good guy to have on Ring of Honor. He's always going to show up. He's always going to show out, and he is the future. He kind of reminds me of Austin Theory in those ways. They're so different, but they're also just alike in certain ways. It reminds me of old Austin Theory and Evolve, where we were watching him, we were always just kind of like, oh, this is the next guy. Like, WWE's going to get his hands on this guy. He's going to be a big star. And that's how I feel about Kyle Fletcher. Once they get it down pat and figure out exactly where they want this guy to go, he's going to be there in a second.
I love this. I love this for you.
What'd you think of Kyle Fletcher in this main event?
I like this match a lot. Yeah, I like Kyle Fletcher. Not as much as you do, but your enthusiasm for him makes me want to keep an eye out on him and see what he does. No, I like when you're enthusiastic about people I'm not really familiar with. And I like it. And I really like this match a lot. And I think he's going to be a really good asset to these eliminator matches, like going into the tournament. I think he's tournament. Yeah. Thank you. So I think he's going to be a really good fit to this.
Couldn't agree more. Like, he is the perfect guy to have in this tournament, and having him win his qualifier, his eliminator match in the main event, it just kind of puts him on a pedestal higher than some of the other competitors.
Definitely.
In terms, at the very least, of how we should be seeing these members.
Definitely.
Like, for example, we're excited about Lee Moriarty because we're excited about Lee Moriarty. We love him when we get hype up for his matches, but we're excited for Kyle Fletcher in this tournament because ROH has positioned him that way. They're positioning the excitement for us. So that in turn gives me high expectations for what we can see from him in this tournament. If that makes any sense.
No, absolutely. I love a good tournament. I'm really
I love a good Ring of Honor show. I love a good Ring of Honor post show. Danielle, this was our first one. It's in the books.
Yeah, it's in the books. That's it.
We did it. We talked about it. And next week, we're going to be talking about it. And then we've got ROH Final Battle coming up.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
We used to go to Final Battles. Remember when they were in Hammerstein?
We need to start like a petition. Yeah, listeners, will you sign our petition to get it back in Hammerstein, assuming that all of you
are from New York,
Brooklyn? Yeah, exactly, in New York City, and people with that,
right,
would all benefit as well. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in.
Thank you.
I know you guys are going to join us next week. Be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to BodySlam's YouTube channel. If you want to support the show, you can see it on the bottom ticker where it tells you where to find me on IG. It's Good Dude Bad Jew. Danielle on IG is DCC125 at Twitter. She's at Being Clever. The Heel Marks, that is us, the best friends in all the land. You can follow us everywhere, every social there is at the Heel Marks. You can watch us live at the Heel Marks. We're live every Sunday. We post our podcast on Monday. Support Mark of Honor at slamchats.com with your donations. Give us your thoughts. Be sure to join us every single Thursday night when ROH ends. When Ring of Honor ends, Mark of Honor begins. That would have sounded so much cooler. So I botched it, but I did it anyway. Guys, you are the best, and we are just trying to be like you.
Yay.
Fuck.
What? It's okay.
They're not just smart, they're heel moms. They're not just smart, they're heel moms.